Yo, welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Niall Frazier. And we are back with some more news on the Philadelphia Eagles. But before we get into it, if you want to subscribe to always catch this vibe, come holla at your boy. Get them likes and comments and all that other good stuff up. We got to keep this channel growing. So let's get into it, though, man. So first things first, man. I just seen a report, and I probably posted it in here or have it pop up somewhere on the screen. But was it Tim McManus or somebody from ESPN has come out and said that Nick Sirianni is on the hot seat for his job. I know I seen a report from Adam Schefter that's saying that he is not on the hot seat. This was probably maybe I want to say maybe a few days ago, maybe last week, something like that. But I want to say that was before the New York Giants loss. Like I said, I had made a previous video on that. I didn't really get too much into it, but we lost. Like, bro, should be no reason that the team, a caliber team, as the Eagles lose to, no disrespect to the Giants, but they ain't been good. So, I think that has played somewhat into it. As I had said before, in previous videos, that I felt like Nick Sirianni has lost the locker room. You can kind of really tell out there on the field. And it's sad to say because it's really, like I said before, this is a great roster. To waste a season, waste a lot of talent, a lot of young years on these players and stuff like that. And I've said before, I've seen interviews where Howard was saying that he never wants to have a rebuilding season and things like that. But it just looks like that's what we've been doing all year. And then you really got to start pointing fingers at, and I said this, the head coach. He's the person that's supposed to keep everything together. He's supposed to, be able to make those types of adjustments. But as you know, he can't make play calls. So it's like you really don't have somebody. It's like you have three inexperienced people out there. The head coach should really be the most experienced person in any sport, honestly. Well, coaching wise, the head coach should be the most experienced beside the coordinators and wherever else you go, whatever other coaches you got throughout the sport. But my thing is, when it comes to the head coach in football, I mean, they really should know the game, at least one side of the ball. And I feel as though that Nick Sirianni doesn't know either side of the ball. I feel like he doesn't make those adjustments. I feel like he doesn't know what to look for. I feel as though, and I know I keep saying I feel, but it's more or less that he comes out after each game, regardless if it's a win or loss, says the same things. But as of recent, it's been lost. It's been what we won for 6, 1 for 5, whatever, however many games we done lost by now. But it really doesn't even matter. You just don't really see the adjustments that he talks about in his press conferences, and throughout the week that they say they make, and then come Sunday or Monday, whatever day they play, you don't see those adjustments. You might see maybe a good couple of drives where it's like, oh, all right, we see, oh, all right, they look like they're trying to do something, but then they revert back to what they know. So it's like you're doing it to yourself at this point. You can't sit there and say one thing and then not show it. You know what I mean? And it's getting to the point where it's, like I said, it's hard to be like Philadelphia is raw. Like, it's hard to be in this city and not live up to the standard, especially when you have the caliber of team that we have. And I said it shows the inexperience for coaching. And like I said, it's 3 inexperienced people. And then I ain't gonna sit there and say Matt Patricia's inexperienced, but it looks like he has no experience in doing what he's doing. Maybe more his was covered up by having Bill Belichick as his head coach when he was with the Patriots. So him being on his own, we've seen what Matt Patricia tried to do with the Lions. Nothing. Terrible. It was terrible there. He ended up coming here and he had a little beef with Darius Slay and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. I ain't gonna get too much into that, but we have seen substantial evidence that shows that he doesn't know what he's doing either sometimes. And it's getting to the point where it's like that Giants game should not have happened like that. Should have made the necessary adjustments. Should have been able to at least stop Tyrod Taylor. All due respect, Tyrod's decent, but you should have at least been able to keep the score to a minimum. And in the offense too, it's like, yeah, Jalen Hurts got his finger was messed up and stuff like that, but the offense didn't look good at all. So it's like we're still talking about these same things that have been going on. I only got 15%. What? Oh God. All right. But yeah, but we've been talking about these things throughout these last 18 to 17 weeks. thinking that, and I even went back and looked at some of my videos, and I've been saying these same exact things. When new dressing problems, it's going to catch up to us. You know what I mean? The offensive coordinators from last year made Nick Sirianni look like a head coach. I've been saying all these different things. You know, it's all pure speculation. I always want to say that, but from what I'm seeing with my own 2 eyes or 4 eyes, whatever you want to call it, this is terrible, man. And a lot needs to change. So now with that coming out from the guy from ESPN sitting there saying that he's on the hot seat, now I'm trying to figure out, well, who would they replace Nick Sirianni with when it comes to a head coach. And I don't want nobody from the inside. I think like I said before, the uh, if the front office has anything to do with interfering with the game plan or wanting certain things in the game plan, they got to stop that. I understand teams use analytics to, try to get some type of advantage against other teams and things like that, which I do. That's all good and dandy. But if you're leaning on data more than you're leaning on your own 2 eyes, I got a problem with that because it's like, I want to say this, like in the stocks, like stock market, like they use those moving averages and stuff like that. That stuff is delayed. So it's just like data, it's delayed. So it's like while stuff is really happening, you're getting the results are delayed. So it's like it's already done happened, already done went by. But by the time you figure out, oh, this is what we need to do, it's already too late. So it's like you need a coach that has somewhat of a grasp on the game. Like you're talking about Wink Martindale coming in as a defensive coordinator, which would be great because if the Eagles are really about what they say they about, like what Sean Desai said, talking about I want to have a hard hitting defense and things like that, then you go out and you get somebody like a Wink Martindale. I even said Rex Ryan, get him off that podium and have him coach in these games and stuff like that, because because I don't want to say he's like a mastermind, but he comes from that tree. He comes from the I can't even think of his dad's name, but they come from that tree. So you want, and especially with Wink Martindale with and I had this on my man. It's like the Ravens defense used to be, it's still crazy. Like it don't matter who, it's just crazy. So that's the type of defense that the Philadelphia Eagles need to have with the players that they have. So I think maybe they go out and go get Wink Martindale maybe as a coordinator. Like I said, if they do fire maybe try him out as a head coach. Who knows? I don't know exactly what they want to do, but I think it all depends on what happens in this the Tampa Bay game. Now we beat Tampa Bay earlier within the year by like what, maybe a touchdown or two or something like that. I can't remember, but that was earlier in the year. We're at a different time in the year for football. With our team, as you can see, like I said, we've been on the decline for the last 6 games, bro. This has been terrible. Even the one game that we won was still trash. So it's like people want to keep sitting here saying the playoffs, like, and I can understand everybody want to create these narratives because you just got to do it for the media and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're playing possum. There's no way you sit here and you tell me that they're playing possum and then all of a sudden they're gonna hit a button and turn it on. It don't work like that. If you play sports, it don't work like that. And if it do work like that, I hope it do, because I would love for us to go to the Super Bowl again, but it don't work like that. And then for you to tell me that, and I hate to say it, but like Dallas. Look at Dallas. They might be able to go to the NFC Championship this year. That's a strong might, because it's still Dallas. So we will see how that pans out. But if I'm thinking, if you're thinking that the Eagles are going to hit a button and they're just going to be able to just cut it on, I don't know what y'all been watching all year, man. But God willing, they get past the first round at least, and then go from there. I think if they get past the first round, I think they played, was it the Rams or the 49ers? It doesn't really matter. Whatever happens, happens. When we get there, we'll talk about it. But my thing is this: as of right now, they need to beat Tampa Bay. It's supposed to be nice in Tampa Bay. It's a Monday night game, and it's the last game, which is crazy. So we'll see how that goes. But I seen Tampa Bay play last week against, who was they playing? Panthers. Oh my God, it was just trash. Like most of the game was just like, it was like 6 points or something like that. And I'm like, I said, this is who we gonna have to play? But I can't really say that because look how the Eagles been playing, man. They really haven't shown me anything to be like, oh yeah, they're gonna do this. But the only thing I can sit there and go off of is the names on our team: Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, you know what I'm saying, Smitty, Hassan Reddick, Sweat, Carter, You know what I mean? And I'm naming all these great players, but it's like that's why I say it comes down to the coaching. If the coaches can't get it right, like they ain't been getting it right, we're gonna have some problems. Man. It's gonna be a struggle bus. It's gonna be a struggle game for us. So, with all that being said, though, we will just have to see when it happens. And then, like I said, then everything will start to transpire. Are they going to end up keeping Nick Sirianni? Both coordinators need to go. I'm sorry. Like I said before, whatever relationship Jalen Hurts has with Brian Johnson, maybe find him a different place in the building. But he cannot. He does not need to be calling offensive play calls for next year. If they do decide to let Nick Sirianni go, which I mean, it's not far fetched because, like I said before, you let Doug Peterson go. He won us a Super Bowl, so this man only got us to a Super Bowl. At least Doug got us there and won that, and they still let him go. So I don't see it being a problem. But we do need to find some type of consistency with our coaching when it comes to coordinators, when it comes to head coach, because Jalen Hurts still being a young quarterback, still developing and stuff like that. He needs, and that's why he needs an experienced coach. I'll tell you that much. But he needs an experience. He needs experienced coaches around him, giving him feeding him the right information, the right advice. Because, like I said, I feel like with Shane Steichen last year, he was able to do that with Jalen Hurts and bring out the best in his ability, his game, and his abilities to play. This year, you're not getting it. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Same thing with what's Josh Allen. Like, as much as I don't like Josh Allen, it's not that I don't like Josh Allen. I just feel as though, like, with his talent. His talent level, it's like, bro, you still have not been able to get there. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I understand AFC is harder than the NFC. I understand that, but the way they put this man up on the pedestal, I'm thinking like, bro, by now at least you should be able to at least make it to the Super Bowl with the teams that he has had. So all in all, who knows? But my thing is this: when they changed their coordinator, within during the year, they changed the coordinator, and they've been ever since that game we lost, that we beat them, and we've been going downhill, and they've been trending up. So, and the only common denominator is the offensive coordinator. So I don't know exactly what it is, why they haven't made this switch, because they didn't have a problem making a switch with Matt Patricia and Sean Desai. And I kind of wonder how this is going to pan out too as well, because Sean Desai supposedly he called the last game that we played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? And it was, like I said, it wasn't really a too bad of a game on the defensive side. I did see a lot of good things that I did like. I think they was bringing pressure. I can't remember. I don't remember all the footage, but I do think they were bringing a little bit of pressure. But I know the Eagles ain't known for doing that. But I do think they can go out here and they can, right? Because Baker he's not the tallest quarterback, he's a smaller quarterback, and they can bring some pressure, and they have not been doing it. But if what they're saying is true, that they got something in their back pocket and that they're about to start doing these different things, one thing they need to do, like I said, Wink Martindale, pressure. You got to create some pressure and get that ball out of his hands, make him make some type of mistakes. Make him make some type of mistakes and speed his clock up. On offense, DeAndre Swift is probably going to be the key. Yeah, you're probably going to see Kenny Gainwell, but my thing is this: DeAndre Swift is going to be a weapon in the playoffs. I know I've seen other people, but I was saying it throughout the year. But if they do not utilize him, we're going to lose, man. We have to run the ball. We have to run the ball, especially because my thing is this, especially with because what's Todd Bowles? You already know what he said about Jalen Hurts, talking about, I think wasn't it Todd Bowles, but he said he couldn't read defense or go through his progressions, whatever the case may be. So to limit some of that, run the ball, run the rock. You went out here and got Rashad Penny. He dressed up and only played a few snaps. You went out here and got DeAndre Swift. You got Boston Scott. Man, it should be a clinic, but it should all start with DeAndre Swift. Yeah, if he get tired, put somebody else in. I understand, but DeAndre Swift, and I'm talking about utilizing him in the backfield, lining him up as a wide receiver. That's what I'm saying. Like, even put him on. I know he's not the best blocker, but like whatever running back they do use, you know what I mean? Have him block, have him pop out. You know what I'm saying? Catch the ball for a couple of yards, because that's what's really missing. Like, we have, like, when they blitz us, he has nowhere to go with the ball. You know what I'm saying? Instead of these long routes, give him something short. You know, like the slant across the middle is cool, but sometimes with the running back, a little out route, a little something like that. Do something like that so it confuses the defense. Cause yeah, he might block and then he might pop out for the run. Cause then it makes them have to play that. Now you have to account for that. Same thing with Jalen Hurts running. Like I do want to see. Cause like I said, I know they're probably gonna send the blitz, but I want to see if he wants to, since he loves to roll out that pocket, roll up the field, bro. Don't roll to the side and still talking about, make the go this way, go that. No, bro. If you can take the ball up the field because running is going to be a key thing in this win. If they do try to win, running the ball or running in general, and then motion in the backfield with DeAndre Swift, line him up different places, lining your receivers up in different areas too. Just create some type of confusion. You know what I mean? And then go from there. Maybe a little bit, some shorter routes, like I said, for some players, just because they're going to send that blitz, man. They're going to come after Jalen Hurts because they already know. This what the second or third time they done played or done seen Jalen Hurts, whatever the case may be. So they got a pretty good, perspective on my man. They know what to do. They know how to rattle Jalen Hurts' cage. Run the ball. If I don't see running the ball, and if that concept doesn't register to a head coach, then it gives every reason for everybody on that staff to be fired. Because we ain't been doing it. And it's crazy that the fans have to tell professional coaches that y'all need to utilize your secret weapon. And the fact that they ain't been running the ball all crazy and DeAndre Swift still got 1,000 yards, I can only imagine how many yards he would have had the day that really had somebody like, come on, we gonna run the rock, blah, blah, blah. Bro, could be close to 2,000 yards probably, man. Like, I just don't get why they don't like to utilize. And this is a Nick Sirianni thing, because even when I thought Miles Sanders last year, he had 1,000+ yards, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I still feel like they didn't utilize him the way they should have. Or was it the year before? I'm like, bro, we got Miles Sanders on our team. Why don't you utilize we have like a decent running back? Use him. He don't like to use the running back, and if he do, it's Kenneth Gainwell. And it's like, what is the fascination with Kenneth Gainwell? I don't get it. And that's no disrespect to him, but it's like, what is this fascination? Like, why did you go get DeAndre Swift? Now, I can see they might be trying to use DeAndre Swift less because they don't want to have to pay this man after the season's over. It would be nice to have him back, but my thing is this. The way some things are going to have to change, because if everything that they're saying is going on in the front office and how they do their offense and defense, players are not going to want to stay here. You're going to lose them big caliber names. Like, nobody want to stay here for that. Nobody want to be interfered with how they supposed to do their job, man. I know what I'm doing. You just trying to tell me what to do. You feel what I'm saying? You're not out here on the field making those decisions, making those coaching calls, seeing what I'm saying, So that's a lot of different things, that's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles. But I will say a lot will be determined on this game. So Monday night, 8:15, Tampa Bay. It shouldn't be too crazy. We done played in Tampa Bay before, so this should just be another walk in the park. I ain't gonna say a walk in the park, but it should be easier than some of the other games they had played in recent. So I think it should give them some confidence that they had beat this team before. But please, like, game planning, they really got a game plan, because it's a different playing field now. Everybody's 0-0. People now, teams really do got a lot to lose, so they're going to probably start bringing out some things that we ain't seen before, and I hope the Eagles do the same. If they don't, like I said, it's going to be curtain call for a lot of people, and I'm talking about players too, because it's no sense in us keeping. And I don't want to sit there and be disrespectful to nobody, but it's like, the best ability is availability. Ain't that what they say? So it's like you getting your Maddoxes up out of there. I'm sorry. It was nice having him and stuff like that, but my man can't stay healthy. If Kobe Dean don't stay healthy, it's another thing. He been injured 3 times in 1 year. Might have to do something with him or bring somebody else in. You know what I mean? Like, but they're really going to have to start buckling down, and trying to figure out, a new philosophy, I want to say, because I feel like they don't put enough emphasis into the linebackers. And you see, look at the line, look at the teams right now that are in the playoffs or high seeded in the playoffs, like your Ravens, even the Dolphins too. Like, they lost both of their linebackers and things like that, but they had pretty good linebackers. They got great linebackers, and it's like we gonna throw anybody back there. You might as well just throw me back there. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you have to value each position, and I do feel like those other teams value those positions. you can't sit there and say like, oh, we can pay any running back and they can run behind this O line. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a decent O line, but sooner or later that O line is going to change and it might not be as good as it used to be, and you might need a because I'm all due respect, Kenneth Gainwell can't make this do the same things that DeAndre Swift can. When DeAndre Swift goes one way and they clog that lane up, my man flips it and goes the other way. If and I'm not saying Kenneth Gainwell can't do that, but how often are you seeing that from Kenneth Gainwell opposed to you seen it with DeAndre Swift from this year? So that's a lot of different things that I could say, but a lot of things going to have to change after this year, man. I don't know what's going on in that front office. I don't know what's going on in that locker room, but I know it's a lot of frustration. I know the PR teams are probably telling them come out here and, like I said, they probably had AJ come out here and say what he said because it didn't even sound. But like even when AJ had said, I know there's some things that Nick wants to change about himself. That let me know right there that all right, he's only doing this because he's being told to do this. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not sitting there saying he got no ill will toward Nick. But like I said, if Nick might be cool with the players and stuff like that, but when it comes to coaching, which is a different thing, he needs to be somewhere else. Maybe put him up in the box or something like that if you want him to stay with the team. But I think they need a legit head coach with experience, either an offensive-minded or a defensive-minded coach. Because look at DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans was the defensive coordinator, and he played on defense. But look what he's done with his team. You know what I'm saying? He knows one side of the ball, and he probably kind of knows the other side of the ball because you got to – like each defense, is good at – has its weaknesses but also has its strengths. So it's like – Nick, I don't know if Nick know that or not. Like I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Like, but I don't see it. I don't see like the stuff that we should be seeing, like with the adjustments and things like this. So, and then getting upset about people, the reporters asking certain questions and things like that. Like you can't really be mad because you go from 10-1 to 10 or 11-6 or something like that, bro. I mean, I know we got the hardest schedule, but still, it's like some of them games are very much winnable. Nothing looked like it really changed. So. I think people got the right to ask those questions. But now he's starting to feel that heat. He's starting to feel it. So, like I said, if you don't win this game in Tampa on Monday, I think by the end of the week you might see some things with what's going on with the staff because then they got to have the exit meeting. So, we'll see how that goes. But hopefully, I don't know, man. Hopefully the Birds can do something and keep it rolling because I do enjoy my football on Sundays and Mondays or whatever other day they play, but I just don't know, man. And this offseason is really going to – I will say this. Whatever happens, regardless if they win or they don't win, this offseason would show me what the Eagles are really trying to do. Because if you're really trying to win the Super Bowl, then you're going to go out and go get experienced coaches for these players. You only got – and next year is probably going to be the year because you got to think. Smitty's going to get – Smitty needs to be re-signed. Hassan needs to be re-signed. A lot of players got to get re-signed or get paid and things like that. So it's like not a lot, but they're going to have to spend some money on some key players next year or this off season. So you going to retain these players and give them corny coaches again, or you going to retain these players and give them some somewhat of a talented coach? Go out there and go get the linebacker so you can go compete with the 49er teams and because they play the Ravens next year, they play the Browns next year, they play some teams next year. So. But with all that being said, man, I will see when the time comes. But as always, I appreciate y'all watching the videos, man. I appreciate the support. And they got always say, if you could subscribe to always catch this vibe. It's now from the No Cut Sports Podcast. I'ma holla at y'all. Y'all be safe.